forefront of our strategy. I mean, our strategy is in fact to enable our existing customers, which are mobile carriers mainly, to bring new revenue streams, to develop new revenue streams. And application enablement, our strategy, is all about connecting or leveraging existing assets from carriers and monetizing them. So we were thinking back then, a few years ago, well, what are actually the assets that mobile carriers have beyond, I don't know, towers and beyond SMS communication and all the boxes that they have? And in reality, one of the biggest assets that they have is the relationship with their subscribers. They've got millions of them, so we thought, what can we do with that? And we're thinking, well, brands actually want to engage, brands and advertisers want to engage with those subscribers, and the media, the whole mobile space, the whole mobile marketing and mobile advertising space is so fragmented. And when brands want to address, let's say, youngsters that are into sports, they have to go to every possible, I mean, all the operators to try to book inventory if that operator has a mobile advertising solution or a mobile marketing solution. And we've just realized that, wow, there is an opportunity for those carriers to become practically the next media channel with the large scale. So Lisa can tell you more about how we bridge that gap in between the brands, the agencies, and the consumers.
So we did quite a bit of extensive research, both with consumers. We did some primary research to understand, what types of mobile marketing or advertising they would accept on their phones. And what we found out is that there were three things that really stood out. Permission was of utmost importance. Before communicating with people on their personal space on their mobile phone, they really wanted to give their consent, or not, but be given that option to potentially opt into something.
Yep.
So that stood out as something very important to us. The other thing was they felt that if they could share their preferences, make the marketing messages, the branded messages, more relevant to their actual experience as opposed to just sending random things that meant nothing to them, would also get them to engage more. And finally, privacy, keeping their data safe, but also giving them some control over their profiles and, the types of information they were receiving. So those are kind of some of the core foundations in what we're doing through Optism. So that's one aspect of the ecosystem. And as Mihai pointed out, we also needed to consider how do we get the operator into the chain so that they're more in a driver's seat position so they can get more of a lion's share by being able to utilize that asset of the subscriber. In addition to that, we spent a lot of time with agencies, both media buyers and sellers. And in fact, as part of the Optism team, we have a number of people that come from that industry. So, we realized as a telco company that builds networks and great equipment, et cetera, that we needed expertise outside of our typical domain. So we spent a lot of time with media buyers to understand what were their challenges in buying mobile media. And so one of the things that we've done with Optism is our platform is hosted. So we don't require CapEx from the operator. We do a revenue share with them. So that was actually another barrier that we kind of overcame because a lot of them, they didn't know how to put that investment in the best place. For many of them, they don't have the wherewithal, they don't have media selling people on board that really understand the industry. So by doing something in a revenue share where we host it, made it a lot easier for them to step into the market. That was number one. Number two, on the media agency side, we have a campaign booking tool that they can actually go in and access and be able to find audiences in a given market or territory. And the other thing we do too is we aggregate the inventory across multiple mobile operators. So as Mihai mentioned before, it's very tough for people to buy media if they have to go and knock on every individual operator's door. We've now kind of centralized that in a single place, kind of a one-stop shop, where the agencies can actually go in and they can find demographic information that they're looking for, as well as preference data, such as sports, music, entertainment as interest categories. And we spend a lot of time in cultivating that information by explicitly asking people what their interests are, as opposed to trying to assume and make predictions.